Let me introduce you to the screen of our checkweigh system. Here you're going to see the actual reading on the scale. This is the last reading that was classified and sorting the parts either good or bad. This is your zero button to zero the scale. This is stability, meaning that if the scale is moving, it will be in motion. Nothing happens until it becomes stable. Here we have the count of good parts, under parts, over parts for this run. Here we're at set point 2, or part number 2, with the low set point here and a high set point there. Over here we have the menu. There's the run, passcode, set points, calibrate, setup, and print. Print is a pretty simple function. It's an RS-232, and it's going to, when you push that button, it will print out this information, this, this, and this. So there's 6 things it's going to print out. So you know if you want to at any time, you can push the print button and see what your tally has been for the day and have a record for it. Now these 3 items on the screen require a passcode. You can either push the passcode ahead of time, you go to the passcode screen, or if you want to, you can go directly to set points, and if the passcode hasn't been entered, it goes right to the passcode anyway automatically and requires you to enter it. Right now the passcode is 0. I pushed enter, and that's good. So now we can go to set points. Here you see the set points, and we have 100 set points from 0 to 99, and you can either go up or down in the menu. To enter a part number, a set point, you just hit the 185. So we just set that one. $188. We set that one. So then we select that. We go back to the run screen, and we'll see that's what we have. Part number 2, 185, 188. And that allows us to classify a part. This, coincidentally, is what we wanted to do. And you just saw everything take place. Not only did you see that, but you saw good show up right here. If it's over, this will light up with an over. If it's under, this will light up with an under. So you see what you do with the set points. That's rather basic. Calibrate. Here's where you calibrate. All you do is you start off at 0, and then you put 100 grams on the scale and push the calibrate. 200, 300, 500. Do it in sequence. That's pretty straightforward. Then you go to the setup screen. You have some choices. Here's where you set up the calibration screen. And I've got it right now set for 100, 200, 300, and 500 grams. And that's the numbers you calibrate, and that's what you saw on the calibration screen. This is the heart of the actual weigh cell measuring, and we're counting by ones right now, so that the 0 is an important number there. Number 1 would have us count by 2s, and a number 2 would have us count by 5s. This is settling time. I've got it set for a half a second, because that's 500 milliseconds right now. Each number here represents 10 milliseconds. This is a filter band, the area that we want to filter down within. So that's 5 readings, digital readings. This is the motion band, again just 5 readings. In other words, 0.5, a half a gram. We want to be within a half a gram. Zero tracking, if it's within 2 digits, then it should automatically go ahead and trigger and go to zero tracking for any kind of debris or dirt buildup on the scale. And these are the tracking from zero, last zero, and the auto zero range. If you change any of these, see here you have an opportunity to change it. If you change any of those, you have to reinitialize. You got to do initialization there. You'll notice down in the corner we have a scale reading, so you can see when the scale is reading what's on it. That becomes very handy if you're troubleshooting. Back to here you see the thresholds. Thresholds, this is, it won't, you notice I have 10 in there, 10.0. It won't do any reading or anything. This won't measure or classify unless we're over 10 grams. It won't reset unless we're under a half a gram. And here we have the maximum reading for the scale. So that's a threshold setup. Here we have the timing, and this is 1 second, and that's the amount of time that the solenoid clicks in and then releases. So that's set at 1 second right now. And then the raw scale count. That's important because that's a great troubleshooting tool. The raw scale reading is actually you have an A to D converter, and the A to D converter is accurate to 2 to the 18th power. And if you want to see what the actual is coming into the scale or coming into the meter, you press that and there's your actual reading. After you use this to set up the scale as an example for setting up the counterweights. You've got counterweights there that you have to set up to counterweight the platter. You also have a damper, and you want to make sure that it's well dampened, that it doesn't bounce around like this. Right now I have it on wheels, and having it on wheels, it's not real steady and solid. It has to be on feet, adjustable feet, and each one has to have equal pressure on the floor, so that if you push on a corner of the platform, it should not change the reading. So that's another reason you'd want to use this screen. Once you've gone to the screen and you've pressed the raw count and you're seeing the raw count, and you can see it goes right on up there. You have to reinitiate the scale to get it back into the calibration mode, and we'll do that now. It goes through a reinitialization, turns on from scratch, and you go through your systems turning on. All the set points are being set, all the default settings are being set, and then it goes to the run screen. You'll notice we did have one good part, and that's what I've got in my hand. Now we have 2 good parts. Let's say, for instance, you have quite a number built up and you want to go to another part number. Well, there's a way of resetting this. You'll usually go to the set point screen to enter a new number or a new set point, and if you do, you want to clear the old one. So this will print out the results just like it did on the other screen, and it will zero all those counts. So if we press that, go back to the run screen, you'll see we're back at 0 for part number 3. That's basically it. There's not much else to it. Thank you.